everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Lonely Sluts podcast. I'm Claire.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we are recording in Sarah's bed. We're taking this very seriously because we're talking about one of my favorite topics, and that's astrology. Sarah doesn't respect that for some reason.
Just the way it's sometimes a little worse when we're actually together because I can see how you look at me and all that, because usually when we're on the computer I'm looking at like the Google Doc or I'm looking at something else, and in person I can just see all of like your mannerisms and your facial expressions. But yeah, no, I'm pumped. I mean, you know a lot more about it and understand it a lot more than I do, but I'm happy to be along for the ride.
That said, I don't know a lot. I just fake it. And I also want to preface this with, I don't necessarily, believe in all of this. I think there is some validity to the traits that the different signs are given, but I don't necessarily know if that's responsible, the stars did it. But I'm always like, well, it's written in the stars. It's the truth.
It's just really fun. I think it's just very fun. It's like the little games you used to play in middle school and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The little fortune teller thing. It's just fun stuff.
I live for that stuff.
Yeah.
This episode has been inspired by a question we got on one of our mini-sodes. And we were like, oh, we should talk about the different signs we've been involved with and our signs and all that good stuff. So I kind of wanted to start out by talking about, if you get your whole chart, there are so many different things, and I am not sure about any of them, to be honest. I'm going to start by talking about your sun sign, which is the sign that you know probably. If you're like, oh, what's your sign? You're going to give your sun sign. And then your moon sign and your rising sign. Sarah, do you want to talk about which ones you are? And then we'll go into what they mean.
Yes, so I am an Aries sun. I was actually born on the first day that Aries starts. And I am a Leo rising and a Sagittarius moon.
Okay, so I'm a Virgo for my sun sign. My rising sign is also Leo, and my moon sign is Capricorn. And these mean different things. Your sun sign is your personality, that's who you are as a whole. Your moon sign is the second most influential part, and it talks about your inner mood and how you deal with emotions. And then your rising sign is how you present to others when you first meet them. And I think it's interesting that both of us are Leo rising, because I think that's on brand, at least for me, because I think I come out, Leos are outgoing in general, and I think that's how I come off at first. But I think I totally fit my Virgo sign better.
I didn't know that Leos were outgoing.
You didn't?
No. I mean, I really only know a few things about Aries, which is my sun, and then I know a few things about Scorpio because Abby always talks about hers.
Okay. Well, okay, then I guess we'll revisit this. I'll go through. I have this pulled up. It's from astrologybay.com. B-A-Y, not B-A-E. And it lists all the signs and then a very brief description of them. And there are 12 signs of the zodiac, and I'm just going to go through all of them really quickly. The first one is Aries, March 21st through April 20th. It's the Ram. It's a fire sign. It is the first sign in the zodiac, and Aries people are willful, feisty, self-centered, courageous, bold, foolhardy, independent, and straightforward. And they're compatible with Leo and Sagittarius, which is fun because that's your moon and rising. Okay, the next sign in the zodiac is Taurus, which is April 21st through May 21st. They're the bull. They're an earth sign. They are practical, creative, loyal, possessive, temperamental, sensually indulgent, down to earth, dependable, persistent, and practical. And they're compatible with Capricorns and Virgos, which are both in my chart. So find me a Taurus, I guess. Gemini is the third one, May 22nd through June 21st. They're the twins. They're an air sign. They're curious, elusive, unpredictable, changeable, versatile, childlike, romantic, playful, friendly, talkative, and have a keen intellect. They are compatible with Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And they have a reputation for being just like kind of shady because they're the twins. They can be like two-faced. Next is Cancer, June 22nd through July 22nd. They're the crab. They're a water sign. They are cautious, protective, nurturing, secretive, instinctive, needy, sensitive, funny, empathetic, and deeply complex. And they go with Scorpio and Pisces very well. Next is Leo, July 23rd through August 21st. They're the lion. They're a sun sign, or their ruler planet is the sun. They're a fire sign. They are provocative, demanding, goal-oriented, flamboyant, self-made, warm, outgoing, sincere, and loyal. They have a reputation for being just self-centered and like about them. They are compatible with Aries, Sagittarius, and to some extent Libra. Next is me. It's the Virgo. Virgo its symbol is the Virgin. It's an earth sign. They're discriminating, obsessive, realistic, analytical, reliable, self-contained, knowledgeable, predictable, obsessive, street smart, detailed, and modest. They're also known for being like kind of judgy. And they are compatible with Taurus and Capricorn. Next is Libra, September 24th through August 23rd. They're the Scales. They're an air sign. They're sophisticated, seductive, elegant, creative, witty, balanced, sociable, and maintain the status quo. They're compatible with Gemini and Aquarius. Next is Scorpio, October 24th through November 22nd. They're the Scorpion. They're a water sign. They're intense, magnetic, erotic, challenging, secretive, powerful, broody, passionate, immovable, and penetrating. Their negative traits would be that they're jealous and unreasonable, and they're compatible with Cancer and Pisces. Sagittarius is up next. They are November 23 through December 22nd. They are the Centaur or the Archer. They're a fire sign. They're adventurous, hilarious, extrovert, romantic, spirited, unstoppable, generous, happy, open-minded, and their negative traits are they do not forgive very easily and they're pushy. They're compatible with an Aries and a Leo. Next is Capricorn, which is the goat. It's not the greatest of all time. It is literally the goat is their symbol. They are organized, respectful, devoted, classy, materialistic, serious, ambitious, and practical. Their negative traits are they can have a defeatist attitude and they overthink things. They're compatible with Taurus and Virgo. So when I have a throuple, I need to get involved with a Taurus and a Capricorn.
As we know, is inevitable.
Yeah, yes, obviously. Oh, God, can you imagine?
Oh, no, I can't imagine you in a throuple.
I can't even imagine me in a couple.
I know, I was like, we gotta work on that two people thing first.
I have no desire for a throuple. Anyway, I'm glad that we've established that. Next is Aquarius, January 21st through February 19th. The water bearer, air sign, original, idealist, rebellious, independent, inventors, open-minded, and honest. They are... Their negative traits are that they're unfaithful and unavailable emotionally. They're compatible with a Gemini and a Libra. And then finally, the last sign is Pisces, the fish. It's a water sign. It's the 12th sign of zodiac. They are dreamy, erratic, creative, romantic, compassionate, elusive, head in the clouds kind of people. Their negative traits are they can be too sensitive, and they're compatible with Cancers and Scorpios. So I know that was a lot of me just like listing things, but that's a good basis for the rest of what we're going to talk about. Now that you know some of the traits, what do you think about your chart now?
I will say, not thinking about my trait, I just thought it was funny that your sign was the Virgin, because another thing that I think, like something else I think is really fun to do are name generators. And like if you were a drink, or like if you had a drink name after you, it'd be called this. Or like if you were a superhero, it'd be called this. And they're very silly and most of the time very stupid, but yours once, doing off of your initials, your drink was the Mystic Virgin.
And that's
so fitting.
That's my sign, the Mystic Virgin. Oh, yikes.
Yeah, but back to the signs. I can see parts of me being an Aries, which makes sense. It listed a lot of traits.
Yeah.
But like feisty, I think I can be feisty occasionally and like stubborn. If anyone has seen me interact with my brothers, then they know. And when it said self-centered, I was like, yeah, I can kind of see that too. I can be a little self-centered sometimes. But yeah, no.
What about your rising sign? That's Leo. Do you feel like you present outwardly towards people when you first meet them like a Leo?
I think I do. Because I try and be a little more outgoing than I naturally am. More like warm and outgoing and stuff.
And then what about your moon sign? Your Sagittarius.
I gotta be honest, I can't remember what
Sagittarius are like. They're very funny. They're very outgoing. They're very stubborn. They're kind of pushy.
Yeah, and this is like my moods and emotions.
This is how you deal with your internal self.
Yeah, that feels right. that feels on brand for me.
Yeah, my sun sign's Virgo. I identify with that completely. I think I'm very analytical, like to a fault. I think that I'm kind of judgy. I think that I like to have a plan. That's very on brand for me. My rising sign is Leo. I think I present like that to people. I think I'm outgoing. And then my moon sign is Capricorn. And that's similar to Virgo in a lot of different ways, but they're a little bit more overthinky, which is on point for my feelings. I think a lot about them. And so I think that's on brand. This is also determined by what time you were born and like exactly what time, what day, and where.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if my location is exactly right, or my time, to be honest.
I don't know if we've discussed this in the podcast before, but I had the wrong city that I was born in for the first 13, 14 years of my life. I thought I was born in Charleston, West Virginia, which is the capital, and I was born in Clarksburg, West Virginia, which is not. And I didn't know. My mom was like, yeah, you were born in the hospital there. How did you mess this up so bad?
Well, how are you supposed to know? You were an infant.
I know. I was like, oh yeah, I remember it so clearly. Reading it, the first thing I did when I was born. No, I just, for some reason, because I had I have family in Bridgeport, which is closer to Clarksburg, but I also have family in Charleston, and I just assumed because we'd visit them there, I'm like, oh yeah, this must be where I was born. And she's like, no, you're wrong. Wrong on that front. But I fixed it, and that's what I did this off of, was Clarksburg. And I know the time. I was born at 1:30 in the afternoon.
I texted my mom about it, but I don't know. Okay. Let's talk about boys. So, when we were getting ready to record this episode, we went through a list of boys that we used to know, or still know in some capacity or other, that we were romantically involved with, or wished we were romantically involved with. And we figured out their signs. It's hilarious because I knew all of their signs.
And I knew none of their signs.
I was like, oh yeah, this guy's a Pisces. I already knew. I was like, yeah, Pisces and Virgo for some reason. And you were like, what?
Yeah, no, I didn't know anyone's birthday. I didn't know their signs. There's a couple people we couldn't even include because they don't have Facebook,
we couldn't look up their birthday.
Yeah, and we couldn't look up their birthday, so I was like, oh well.
We're not gonna text them.
And I don't have some of their numbers anymore. So.
Yeah. Oh god. Okay. So, I'm going to go through my boys. My 8th grade boyfriend of 3 weeks was a Libra. Still is a Libra. I just need to not speak in past tense. As far as I know, all of these boys have not changed their birthday, and they're all alive. So, Libra, the guy I had a crush on in 8th grade, is a Pisces. The guy I had a crush on in high school is a Pisces. The guy I went out with and have referred to as high school is a Libra. T-shirt's a Scorpio. Football's a Capricorn, and fish pick is a Virgo. And then I was trying to think, because I realized there was a gap in college. I didn't have any boys with names in college, because they were all so fleeting. But there was 3 guys that I kind of had a crush on in college, and that's 2 Virgos and a Cancer.
And my list is much smaller. And the guy that I had, one of the guys I had a crush on in high school was a Scorpio. The other one was a Pisces. A couple other we just couldn't find the information on. One of the guys I liked in college, study abroad, we discovered was a Libra. The guy after college was a Cancer. He's hair. And one of the guys that I just, like, hooked up with because we needed to really fill this list was a Capricorn. And the actual love of my life, Hosier, just because I needed to include more people, was a Pisces as well. So 2 Pisces for crushes.
Let's see. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4 Virgos, 2 Pisces, 2 Libras, 1 Cancer, 1 Capricorn, and 1 Scorpio. The Capricorn and the Scorpio screwed me up worse than any of the other ones, though. They threw me for a loop. Just in general. It's interesting that I liked these Pisces. I liked them for, like, a long time. Like, it was a number of years that I was involved in my head with these boys. And I think that's interesting because Pisces is opposite of Virgo on the chart. Like,
what's opposite of Aries?
I'll have to look it up right now. But, yeah, no, like, where I'm supposed to be, like, pragmatic, Pisces are, like, very head in the clouds. And so I think that's really interesting that that's how that played out.
I think it's very fitting that Hosier is a Pisces.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The opposite of Aries is a Libra.
Cool.
And study abroad is a Libra.
Yeah, I don't think that had any factor in ours. Because I don't know. I honestly can't remember the traits of a Libra again.
Libra is the scales. They're, like, very fair, and I'm trying to remember the rest of them. I didn't commit Libra to memory because it's not important to my
to my life,
to my people. Okay, let's talk compatibility. I have this book. It's called Sextrology, and I spent too much money on it. I actually went in on it with my other friend, and we bought it together. Although we don't have joint custody of it, I own it. I have it. I've taken it from him. Let's look at Sarah's compatibility with these different signs. So, as an Aries woman, your compatibility with a Libra man. We'll look at that one first. Okay, so it says, allies from the outset, sharing a need for sexual freedom and intellectual expression. As a couple, believing themselves an exclusive elite, they have a cachet as others buy into the perception. In bed, she's the aggressor. How do you feel about that?
The elite, that cracks me up. Yeah, so I don't really think that's super indicative of what our whatever we had was.
Yeah. You
Especially
didn't feel, like, above it all.
Yeah, we're just, the exclusive elite. We always had a need for that intellectual expression when we were together. No, I don't know. That didn't seem super descriptive of what went down. So, yeah. Let's on to the next one.
Okay.
We do Cancer?
Okay. So, this would be you in hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aries woman and a Cancer man. The attraction is subtle, less physically felt, rather more subconscious. Their pairing is anecdotal, an emotional cure for past pain. He provides the support she sought. She exercises ex-lovers.
I would say that was opposite of if anything. If anything, he was going through it and I was just, like, there to, like, walk him through it. Yeah, so I feel like that was opposite in our relationship. I shouldn't even call it that. In our, like, 2 months stint of knowing each other.
Yeah. So none of these boys, except for my 8th grade boyfriend, were my actual boyfriend. So I can't even call them, like, my exes.
I know.
Like, these boys I used to know.
And, like, someone I spoke to once.
Yeah, I met this guy once, and he's a Pisces.
Yeah. That's my whole life. Yeah, let's just do Pisces, because I want to see how compatible I am with Hosier when I eventually fall in love
Aries
with him.
and Pisces. With this ultra-receptive man, she softens, stimulating maternal instincts. He's expected to clean up his emotional act or take his exit. Sex is no simple affair. She wants it long and hard. He's comfortable cuddling.
He's what I need. He's what I need to soften me. Soften my edges, Hosier.
We'll tag him in this.
Oh god, I don't know if I don't know if this would be the good jumping
No,
off
here's what
point.
we should do. We should tag that band. We saw Hozier last night in concert, which is why he's like top of mind.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a band who opened for him called Balin. That was pretty good. But they will post anything you tag them into their Instagram story.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do is tag Balin in this, and then they'll post it to their Instagram story, and there's a better chance that Hozier will see it. Hozier. We've been saying his name all kind of ways. That he will see it from their page. And he will know that he needs to get
That's true. So,
with you.
Balin, we don't know your names or ages, but if you would like to drop
how
them.
old are y'all?
Because you seemed quite young, but...
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Made me feel inadequate. But
wonderful harmonies
yeah.
going on.
Sarah bought your record.
I did. It's in my car right now.
We listened to it on the way to Wendy's.
If that tells you anything
We're
about
living
how
our
good they are.
best life. Okay, so I want to read you in Capricorn just because
You're curious.
I have a motive to find this out. Aries woman and Capricorn man. If looking for complication, she'll connect with a complex cat man. A messy match. Dramatic, chaotic, unclear. Extreme fantasies are comfortably expressed. Oh. This says gender bending, swapping, or S&M may be status quo. So that's fun.
I don't like the dramatic messiness of it all.
Yeah.
I just want the softening part.
So never mind. Get with the Pisces. Forget
Capricorns.
Forget Capricorns.
Sorry to all
Capricorns out. Well, I'm
maybe they have different like moons and risings and things though that'll mellow them out from apparently this drama mess that would
this
happen.
book is just about
The
your sun
suns.
sign, so I don't really know how that goes. But okay, let's talk about me. So I guess I'm gonna look up Virgo compatibility because that's the most on my list. I have 4 Virgos. Wow. Okay. Virgo woman and Virgo man. 2 exacting earth signs bound by matching modi operandi. They're an insular pair, cloistered as well as self-concerned. Neurosis is amplified, often labeled holier than thou, and may be puritanical in bed. That sounds boring.
It does sound a little boring.
Fish pick is a Virgo.
Does that feel appropriate to describe what goes on?
I don't know. I don't think it does. I was just looking at the list to see who's relevant anymore. All right, let's look at Capricorn. Football is a Capricorn. Virgo woman, Capricorn man. They have a plan to work as a team, to prosper, to live in relative luxury. They play house, taking traditional roles. Sex is rarely a focus. Surprisingly, in some cases, the marriage is comfortably open. Well,
but that hurts.
Yeah. It's like, there's that. Let's do Scorpio. T-shirts is Scorpio. Virgo woman, Scorpio man. She's an open book. He's in search of something to write on. I hate that a lot, really quick. I just want to say. But does he have the whole story? She's a complex character. Finding middle ground may be difficult. Sexually, he's in control. She's grateful to be guided.
I don't think that last part was accurate at all.
I don't like that. I don't like any of these. They make me feel cringy. Especially that last one.
That last one was not good at all. Like, there was no part of that where I was like, I could see it. Every
Like,
part I was like, this doesn't feel good.
I wonder what he's like a cusp, though. Interesting. Well, there's that.
Yeah, does being on the cusp of something change
Yeah, it matters, for sure.
Because I'm on the first day of Aries, and I feel like that should be acknowledged. I feel like we should definitely talk about me more, Claire.
No, let's. So if you're on the first day of Aries, you very well may have Pisces tendencies as well.
That feels accurate, because I feel like I daydream a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main thing that I think sometimes I can be a little sensitive, and I daydream a lot, so...
Okay, let's talk about our friends. We also made a list of friends and what their signs were to see if we had any tendencies.
So I'm not even gonna say everyone's name. I'm just gonna do. I included family and friends, so like my brothers.
Me too. Yeah, my brother's on here.
So there's Sagittarius, Scorpio, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, Gemini, Virgo, Gemini, Taurus.
So you have 2 Capricorns and 2 Taurus, but other than that...
And 2 Gemini.
Oh, and 2 Gemini. Mm-hmm. I keep thinking about that Lizzo song, where she's like, the old me used to love a Gemini, like a threesome, fucking with him every night.
I think about that a lot, too.
Yeah. That song is Soulmate by Lizzo. And
stream it.
If you haven't listened to it, listen to it. Lizzo is
Queen.
Everything, yeah. Let's see. Mine... I have 2 Aries, and they're both named Sarah. All my friends named Sarah are Aries. Well, that's not true, but the 2 I hang out with the most. Leo, Aquarius, Pisces, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Taurus, Capricorn. So a lot of Sagittarius.
And Scorpio.
I have 1 Scorpio. 2 Scorpio.
2 Scorpios.
Jacob and Gabby are both Scorpios.
3.
But I have 2 Leos, Leanne and Thomas, 2 Aquarius, Corey and Joseph.
A lot of pairs. A lot of pairs of friends.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I don't really think I have a tendency. I don't have any friends who are Cancers.
I don't have any friends who have Cancers or Libras.
I don't have any Libra friends either. Well, I say this. This is just the people we listed. We know more people than this.
Oh, yeah, no. I hope that I know more than, 10 people in my life.
We're recluses. We only know these people.
I don't know. I guess that means we just don't know, or, we aren't incredibly close to people
who were born in the summer.
I know, that were born in, certain months.
Yeah.
Is what it boils down to.
Yeah, I wonder...
Maybe is that, with school, how, there's cutoffs for stuff? No, because people in your grade could be born in
that doesn't make sense. Well, okay, that's where my philosophy about, how your sign affects your personality. When the cutoff date determines how old you are in your grade, Virgos typically are either the very oldest or the very youngest in their grade. And I think that the way that's spread out, I think that matters as to what your personality is a little bit. I read an article about this a long time ago, and I agreed with it, and I can't remember.
About whether you're the youngest or oldest in your grade?
Yeah, and about how that affects your personality and your zodiac sign.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I know someone who... So were you...
I was old.
You were the old... Because I know someone who was born in September, but she was the youngest of our grade.
Yeah,
she was
that's
a year
how my
behind,
mom was.
basically.
Her birthday's not that far off from mine, but she, was a year younger, when she graduated everything. She started college when she was 17.
Interesting. That's weird. That's
yeah.
Weird. She couldn't vote before getting in all that debt.
Yep. So, we referenced the sextrology book that I have when we were talking about compatibility, but this book is literally hundreds of pages long. This book has over 550 pages of just, sextrology facts. I say facts, there are any facts in this. But we went through, each section is probably 25 pages long. And we went through the Aries woman section and the Virgo woman section. And I wrote down some things that stuck out about the person. And I'm going to have Sarah read hers out loud. And we're going to go through it. And then we're going to read mine out loud and go through it too.
I would like to say, I feel like this list gets worse as you go through it, but here we go. So it starts off, and it says that Aries women, they always have a plan, there's no drama or emotional entanglements, they're more at ease with the opposite sex. It said that they were a man's woman. Unapologetic approach to sex, requires no coaxing. Men seen as sex objects, looking to avoid love. Ideal man is a rugged individualist with scant emotional needs and healthy libido.
Okay, I want to stop. I want to talk about these
individually.
Yeah, so what do you think about what you've read so far?
What I think about what I've read so far is paints me as a very open person. I don't like the whole man's woman thing, and I also don't even think it's true.
It's like a ladies' man, but a man's woman.
That's what they call me, a man's woman. But I don't even really necessarily think that it's true, because I don't think I'm more at ease with the opposite sex.
Okay.
I think I'd rather, if I was going out, I'd rather pick a group of girls than a group of guys to go out with. Let's see. My ideal man being a rugged individualist with scant emotional needs and a healthy libido. I guess I don't know. I guess scant emotional needs feels pretty right. I don't want them to be needy and clingy. And then it keeps going on to say, can be selfish, lacks compassion, great difficulty with romantic commitment issues.
Do you think that's true?
I think everything but the lacks compassion.
I think you're a pretty compassionate person.
I'd like to think I'm compassionate.
I don't think you're selfish, but I'm not in your head. I don't know what you're like.
I think I'm generous with my time and money.
I was gonna say, you're very generous. Like, last night she kept trying to buy the drinks when it was obviously my turn. That happened twice.
Every round is my round when I get tipsy. But, like, I think my thoughts can be selfish, so, like,
That's just part of being a person.
Yeah, so maybe it's just, like, a healthy, normal amount of selfish.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the commitment issues?
That feels right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's also hard to say, though, because it's not like I've ever been in a long, serious relationship.
But were you the one to cut and run? Because that was me for the longest.
That was me, I will say, in late high school, early college, I was the one to cut and run. Later on, I would be like, let's see where this thing goes, and it didn't go well. So
Same, that's exactly me. Like, in the past, I was like, yeah, bye, yikes, oof. But now I'm like, oh, I like this dude. And he goes, oh, you like me? I have to leave now.
Yikes. And then it keeps going, and it says, tendency to quit rather than communicate, which kind of, I feel like, goes back to what we were just talking about with commitment issues. Comparative sexual shopper. I don't even know if I entirely know what that statement means.
Well, in context, it was like, you were looking at men as products, and you were only picking the guys with the features you liked.
I feel like that goes back to the point above that says men seen as sex objects.
Yeah, no, exactly. I just thought that was a funny phrase, so I wrote it down.
I don't know if I see them as sex objects. It's very reductive. There's unable to bear the idea of being someone's high school sweetheart. I don't know if I'm unable to bear the idea. I just don't think it happened. I don't think I was anyone's high school sweetheart. And I don't think it would have made me uncomfortable to think that they thought
hate that phrase.
High school sweetheart.
Yeah. It just feels sticky. Like, it's like too sweet. Like, ugh. Syrupy.
When she's younger, she likes older guys. When she's older, she likes younger guys. I guess that time will only tell with that.
Yeah, we'll figure that one out. So do you like older guys now?
I think not too much older.
Yeah.
I would say 1 to like 5 years older.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at right now. I definitely don't want anyone younger than me, but maybe, when I hit 40, I'll be like, that 29-year-old looking spicy.
No, that's funny though. We talked about this a little bit earlier while we were getting ready for this. But like, as far as the older guys thing, like there's a guy who's like 1 or 2 years older than me, and I'll be like, oh, he's older. He's got his shit together. And that's not true. He's like, a year older than me means nothing. And I don't know why I'm like, oh, he's 26. He's gonna have like 25, 26. Like, it's not gonna be any different. Stupid.
When I think of older guys, Take a Chance on Me plays in my head.
Take a Chance on
And when I think of younger guys, Does Your Mother Know plays in my head. So there's that. It also says that I love being single. If she dates a pushover, which I don't know if I've ever even liked a pushover.
Well, it's just because Aries have that reputation for being like pushy and like bossy and opinions, and they're like don't want to be
challenged on that.
Yeah.
Like, I can see from that perspective why they would think I would want to date a pushover, but I actually am incredibly indecisive.
That's
personally.
why we work, because I make decisions.
Yeah, you push me over, and I love it.
Oh, I'm glad. That's my fear. I think I'm a bully a little bit, so thanks.
Dates guys who aren't good enough after a working relationship, allow independence, and provides companionship, and sexually acts on impulse. I don't know about any of these.
You don't date guys who aren't good enough for you? That's what it says in the stars.
The stars tell me that I'm just better than everyone.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, it got a little bit more specific, and it was talking about how I would purposely find people that are just like,
yeah,
I know aren't good enough, and I know then I could like hold it over them. It was saying in the thing, and I was like, that sounds so awful, and I don't think I would ever intentionally seek someone out just so I could be like, you know what, you know I'm better than you. Do it's what I say.
You should be grateful for me.
We're going to McAllister's. I decided. I say that because I'm moving to Pennsylvania and they don't have McAllister's, and I'm getting very upset about it. But
I've only gone to McAllister's a handful of times ever.
I just really like their salads and spreads.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll find somewhere.
I know, that's going to be my new thing, is finding a replacement McAllister's. If anyone lives in Pennsylvania, please tell me where to go.
So, we referenced the sextrology book that I have when we were talking about compatibility, but this book is literally hundreds of pages long. This book has over 550 pages of just, like, sextrology facts. I say facts, like, there are any facts in this. But we went through, each section is probably like, I don't know, like 25 pages long. And we went through the Aries woman section and the Virgo woman section. And I wrote down some things that stuck out about the person. And I'm going to have Sarah read hers out loud. And we're going to go through it. And then we're going to read mine out loud and go through it too.
I would like to say, I feel like this list gets worse as you go through it, but here we go. So it starts off, and it says that Aries women, you know, they always have a plan, there's no drama or emotional entanglements, they're more at ease with the opposite sex. It said that they were a man's woman. Unapologetic approach to sex, requires no coaxing. Men seen as sex objects, looking to avoid love. Ideal man is a rugged individualist with scant emotional needs and healthy libido.
Okay, I want to stop. I want to talk about these
individually.
Yeah, so like, what do you think about what you've read so far?
What I think about what I've read so far is paints me as a very open person. I don't like the whole man's woman thing, and I also don't even think it's true.
It's like a ladies' man, but a man's woman.
That's what they call me, a man's woman. But I don't even really necessarily think that it's true, because I don't think I'm more at ease with the opposite sex.
Okay.
I think I'd rather, like, if I was going out, I'd rather pick a group of girls than a group of guys to go out with. Let's see. My ideal man being a rugged individualist with scant emotional needs and a healthy libido. I guess, I don't know. I guess scant emotional needs feels pretty right. I don't want them to be needy and clingy. And then it keeps going on to say, can be selfish, lacks compassion, great difficulty with romantic commitment issues.
Do you think that's true?
I think everything but the lacks compassion.
I think you're a pretty compassionate person.
I'd like to think I'm compassionate.
I don't think you're selfish, but I'm not in your head. I don't know what you're like.
I think I'm generous with my time and money.
I was gonna say, you're very generous. Like, last night she kept trying to buy the drinks when it was obviously my turn. That happened twice.
Every round is my round when I get tipsy. But, like, I think my thoughts can be selfish, so, like,
That's just part of being a person.
Yeah, so maybe it's just, like, a healthy, normal amount of selfish. Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the commitment issues?
That feels right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's also hard to say, though, because it's not like I've ever been in a long, serious relationship.
But were you the one to cut and run? Because that was me for the longest.
That was me, I will say, in late high school, early college. I was the one to cut and run. Later on, I would be like, let's see where this thing goes, and it didn't go well. So
same. That's exactly me. Like, in the past, I was like, yeah, bye, yikes, oof. But now I'm like, oh, I like this dude. And he goes, oh, you like me? I have to leave now.
Yikes. And then it keeps going, and it says, tendency to quit rather than communicate, which kind of, I feel like, goes back to what we were just talking about with commitment issues. Comparative sexual shopper. I don't even know if I entirely know what that statement means.
Well, in context, it was like you were looking at men as products and you were only picking the guys with the features you liked.
I feel like that goes back to the point above that says men seen as sex objects.
Yeah, no, exactly. I just thought that was a funny phrase, so I wrote it down.
I don't know if I see them as sex objects. It's very reductive. There's unable to bear the idea of being someone's high school sweetheart. I don't know if I'm unable to bear the idea. I just don't think it happened. I don't think I was anyone's high school sweetheart. And I don't think it would have made me uncomfortable to think that they thought
I hate that
that.
Phrase.
High school sweetheart.
Yeah. It just feels sticky. Like, it's like too sweet. Like, ugh. Syrupy.
When she's younger, she likes older guys. When she's older, she likes younger guys. I guess that time will only tell with that.
Yeah, we'll figure that one out. So do you like older guys now?
I think not too much older.
Yeah.
I would say 1 to like 5 years older.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at right now. I definitely don't want anyone younger than me, but maybe, when I hit 40, I'll be like, that 29-year-old looking spicy.
Spicy. No, that's funny though. We talked about this a little bit earlier while we were getting ready for this. But like, as far as the older guys thing, like there's a guy who's like 1 or 2 years older than me, and I'll be like, oh, he's older. He's got his shit together. And that's not true. He's like, like a year older than me means nothing. And I don't know why I'm like, oh, he's 26. He's gonna have like 25, 26. Like, it's not gonna be any different. Stupid.
When I think of older guys, Take a Chance on Me plays in my head.
Take a chance on
and when I think of younger guys, Does Your Mother Know plays in my head. So there's that. It also says that I love being single. If she dates a pushover, which I don't know if I've ever even liked a pushover.
Well, it's just because Aries have that reputation for being like pushy and like bossy and opinions, and they're like don't want to be
challenged on that.
Yeah.
Like, I can see from that perspective why they would think I would want to date a pushover, but I actually am incredibly indecisive.
That's
personally.
why we work, because I make decisions.
Yeah, you push me over, and I love it.
Oh, I'm glad. That's my fear. I think I'm a bully a little bit, so thanks.
Dates guys who aren't good enough. After a working relationship, allow independence and provides companionship and sexually acts on impulse. I don't know about any of these.
You don't date guys who aren't good enough for you? That's what it says in the stars.
The stars tell me that I'm just better than everyone.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, it got a little bit more specific, and it was talking about how I would purposely find people that are just like,
yeah,
I know aren't good enough, and I know then I could like hold it over them. It was saying in the thing, and I was like, that sounds so awful, and I don't think I would ever intentionally seek someone out just so I could be like, you know what, I'm better than you. Do what I say.
You should be grateful for me.
We're going to McAllister's. I decided. I say that because I'm moving to Pennsylvania and they don't have McAllister's, and I'm getting very upset about it. But
I've only gone to McAllister's a handful of times ever.
I just really like their salads and spreads.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll find somewhere.
I know, that's going to be my new thing, is finding a replacement McAllister's. If anyone lives in Pennsylvania, please tell me where to go.
Okay, so in this book, it also, for each sign, it lists turn-ons. And we're going to play a game where you say yes, no, or pass after I read the whole list of turn-ons. I might skip a couple because these are a little bit
much.
Extra. Yeah. Okay. Younger men.
Pass. Wait, no. I mean, no. Like, I don't
Okay.
want that.
Okay. Swarthy looks.
I'm not even entirely sure.
Swarthy. I think
know
like a pirate.
That's what I think, like a pirate too. I'm like, swashbuckler. Yes. So
yes, no, or pass.
I would say pass, because I think I'm
You don't
neither
know?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rugged builds.
Yes.
Body hair, stubble, beards.
Yes.
Large penises.
Pass.
Female, male threesomes.
No. I keep thinking pass means no in my head.
Sex on the side.
Like physically laying down on
I
my side,
I
or like
think it's
on the
just, like-
side of a relationship?
I think it's on the side of a relationship, like a la carte. Like,
And I'll take some sex on the side, please, ma'am.
Yeah.
No.
Laborers, lumberjacks.
Yes.
Big hands,
Yes.
meaty forearms.
I just don't like the way that's
I hate the
phrased.
word meaty. Yeah, because like as a
Follow
concept,
a dog on Instagram that's called Meaty.
Oh, yeah, I humiliation.
Wait, my turn. Like by me being
Active.
humiliated?
So you would be the one humiliating them.
Oh no. No, I don't think humiliating people does it for me.
Really? One night stands.
Pass.
Strangers and casual sex.
Why are all of these like I'm some
Because that's what it says in the stars. I'm just reading. I didn't write this book. Take it up with Starsky and Cox.
I'll pass. I'll pass it all.
Male strippers.
Pass. I've been to a male strip club. It was just vaguely uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can't. I've not been, but
it
I
was
can't
for a
imagine.
bachelorette party. It wasn't just like a Tuesday night, and I was like, I know where I'm going.
Tuesday. Role reversal.
Pass? No. No.
You're like, no, that's a no.
Yeah.
Locker rooms?
Just like being in
It
that.
says male locker rooms.
No, because I feel like that just invites like there being so like it makes me think there's just going to be a lot of people around.
Okay, and then the last one is sweat and body odor.
Body odor,
I don't
sweat.
know.
It's like like they were just like working hard, like glistening sweat. I feel like could be a nice thing, but the accompanying body odor
is very yucky.
makes it go to a no.
Okay, well that's all that's listed for there. I guess we'll switch, and it's time to go through mine. So, mine says Earth Mother, powerfully feminine, a force to be reckoned with. I don't think I'm powerfully feminine.
I wouldn't say you're powerfully feminine either. I would say you sometimes are feminine.
I do wear dresses, but right now I'm not very feminine at all. I have like a t-shirt and shorts on tonight.
That you got like burger sauce
Yeah, I have
on.
burger sauce on my shirt. Thanks for outing me. This is a podcast. I'm messy. I also don't feel like an earth mother. Like that just doesn't sound like
You have succulents.
me. I do, and they're not dead yet. But my fern, my poor
Talk
fern.
about being an earth mother.
My poor fern is dying, and I need to just accept it. Okay. Accessibility and fragility inspires a man's protectiveness and lust. I don't think I have come across as fragile.
I don't think you come across as fragile either, so that's confusing for me because you seem like a very well put together person.
Thank you.
Especially not that I've ever just been a fly in the wall for your romantic endeavors, but from everything you've told me secondhand about how like conversations and dates and things have gone, you just seem very straightforward, very well put together, and it always confuses me, men's reactions.
Yeah, they've confused me as well.
Hence the podcast.
Yeah. It says, eager to please a lover? Perhaps. Possessing sex appeal long after other women's charms have faded. It was basically like, you're just gonna pull guys forever. And I was like, sweet. Love to hear it. Expects to be worshipped. I don't think that's true about myself.
I don't know how you would, like,
Handle
respond.
that?
Yeah,
Not well.
If a guy were to suddenly be incredibly, like, worshipping and all, like, incredibly lovey-dovey
I would
and
probably
praising.
freak out and leave.
I know. I guess
You have to trick me into, like, mutual, like I have to like you first, and then we have to be real casual about it. Admit, like, okay, there's a dude coming into town this weekend who I've been talking to forever. I say forever. It's been like several months. And we have plans to get together, but I felt way too vulnerable to ask him what night. Like, that's the kind of, like, I was like, Friday, I gotta be more chill about this, but I asked him, and we're gonna do something Friday. But, like, that was a lot for me. So, like, if some guy suddenly just, like, worshipped me, I don't think I could.
Like, if he had responded to me, like, I can't wait to see your lovely face. I've been looking
forward
to
like,
this for
weeks. I don't have a face anymore. I have to leave. Yeah. We have to, like, pretend like it doesn't matter. Oh, God, I hate that about myself. But yeah, no, I don't really want to be, I don't expect anything. I expect to be disappointed. This is fun for me. This next part talks about how guys think that they're not good enough to date Virgo women. They, like, think Virgo women are, like, great and beautiful and, like, have their shit together, and they feel inadequate. So most of the time, Virgo women, like, they're single. Like, they're alone because everybody is intimidated.
I thought that was funny. I mean, it was appropriate for you because, as I said, I feel like you're very well put together.
Thanks.
But it just was so opposite of what mine said about me purposely finding, like, trash people and then rubbing in the fact that they're trash in their face. I was like, oh, of course these are opposites. What an odd couple comedy we are.
We are, yeah. Let's see. Virgos may suffer from emotional blocks, which we've already discussed just now. I was talking about my fear of vulnerability to the point of it being stupid. But they may be neurotic and overly dependent on siblings, which is true. Shout out to Jack, for letting me yell at him when I was trying to set up my new phone a couple weeks ago. I just FaceTimed him and yelled at him for a while, and I appreciate that. He puts up with a lot of my shit, and I think I am overly dependent on it. So they got me there. I am neurotic and overly dependent and have some emotional blocks. Don't at me. Okay, next it says, intimidating to most men, placing tremendous expectations on anyone she's involved with. If your tremendous expectations are telling me what you freaking want, then yeah, I put tremendous expectations, but that should be, like, the bars on the floor.
Yeah, no, and they refuse to step over it. They're, like, digging underneath it to tunnel around it.
So if that's intimidating, I'd rather be alone. Fuck off. This next one says she likes grown-up men. She doesn't want little boys.
That's good.
Who can't, not like, I mean, she doesn't want children, but it's like, it's talking about, like, immature dudes. Mm-hmm. So, like, she wants a guy who's got his shit together, which, like, yes, correct. Yes. This next one says gives off a big sister energy, which is another reason that guys have a hard time, like, getting involved with her. They like her, they think she's cool, but it's, like, kind of, like, a protective mothering force as opposed to, like, a romantic one, which is a bummer. Which I think is probably true to a degree in my relationships with anybody, like with just people. It says, Virgo woman is most attracted to a man who is rough around the edges and self-realized. Yeah. Yeah. And this part I thought was, real, upsetting. It takes years for her to form a healthy relationship, and she usually doesn't settle into one until she's around 35 to 42 years old.
That's A, incredibly specific, and B, a little grim.
Well, I didn't write this down on yours, but each sign has, based off of what order they are in the zodiac, has an age range that's associated with them. Oh. Your age range for Aries is 0 to 7. So you're, like, playful, like a kid.
Oh, I thought this was when I was going to find, like, a romantic partner.
No, but the woman's age, or the Virgo woman is 35 to 42, which is when she settles into who she is in relationships. Oh. But you've got, it's different meanings based off of different.
I'm a child.
Yeah. Cool, I've been middle-aged since I was born.
So if you want to do some of your turn-ons.
Sure, let's go for it.
Yes, no pass. And some of these I'll just, like, put together because yours is a lot, I gotta say, like, kinky stuff.
I skipped some of yours because of that.
Well, I feel like most of it. Okay. So, the first ones are high power creatives, rockers, painters.
Sure.
Facial hair.
Yes.
Hygiene.
Yes.
Circumcision.
Pass.
Business suits, bosses.
Yes.
Ripped condoms, tantric techniques, toys, vibrators.
Pass.
Tattoos, piercings.
No.
I didn't think so.
Yeah. Well, I'm not, like, opposed to, like... I'm not, like, into tattoos. But I'm not, like, opposed to tattoos. But piercings, no.
Pika agrees.
Yeah.
And then there's maid secretary role play.
Pass.
You also have humiliation.
Active or passive?
It doesn't, like...
Because the answer is no, but I want to know what it says about me. Because that matters.
It's confusing because it only says... So it says, Dr. Nurse fantasies, and then...
Sure.
Passive, light S&M.
Oh. Passive is the receiving. And active is the doing.
So I don't know if that was describing the Dr. Nurse fantasies or the
it's probably a separate thing.
S&M.
I don't know. Pass.
You're like, just pass on all of it.
Just passing all of these. I don't want to...
Navels.
No. That's a solid no.
Corsets, garters. Like, wearing them, I guess? Like, if they make you feel more in the mood by, like, putting that type of stuff on.
Probably pass. Or probably no.
High leather boots.
Yeah. For me, I love them.
And then one of the best ones is dungeons goths.
Oh, that's a no.
It's a hard no, my friend.
You know what gets me going? A dungeon. Yikes.
I love navels and dungeons. They've got me down to a T.
Oh, God. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have on this. What are your final thoughts? Do you feel like the stars are telling the truth, or do you think you're...
My final thoughts are that it feels pretty grim for an Aries sun woman. Just because, I don't know, it painted not a pretty picture for us romantically or sexually, I guess. But otherwise, I don't know. I found this whole thing to be really fun and funny, and I enjoyed it. I don't know if there's any huge takeaways.
This is all pretend.
Other than just tell me your birthday straight up so I can know, because I didn't know, like, anyone's birthday that I had ever talked to. Except for my friends. I did know close friends and families' birthdays. I just didn't know any, like, romantic partners' birthdays.
Oh, I have an anecdote we can wrap this up with.
Oh, perfect.
We were out. It was me and my two Sarahs. We were out downtown, and we were at AC's, which is a bar in Charleston. And we had been drinking for a while prior to this. This was the last stop of the night. This was the same night that you bought the food for those two guys in line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're in AC's, and there's this guy. He is not my type. He's got a bunch of dreads under a really big hat. But he is standing next to me. And his opening line is, "Hey, what's your sign?" And me, being a little bit drunk and just overly into astrology, was like, "Oh, I'm a Virgo. What's your sign?" And I don't remember what his sign was, but I started talking to him for a long time. And then he was like, "Hey, I bet you won't give me your number." And me, who can't back down, was like, "I will too." And I gave him my number, and he called me, and I threw the phone across the room.
I want to say either his actual name was Leo or his sign was Leo.
His name was Leo.
His name was Leo? I
Yeah.
don't know if he actually was one or not, but that's pretty funny.
Anyway, but the moral of the story is, if you ask me, "Hey, what's your sign?" I'll talk to you.
I love that, like, years ago, when we were in, like, middle school and stuff like that, like, entering high school, that was such a cliche, like,
"Hey, baby, what's your sign?"
Yeah, like, everyone made fun of it. They're like, don't ask people their signs. And now that, like, astrology and, like, all the zodiac stuff has had such a resurgence, either, like, jokingly or seriously, that's very much a real thing to ask. Like, people actually are genuinely interested, or, like, think that it's a good conversation starter at this point.
So, would you, if you found out somebody's sign, would you let that affect your getting involved with them or not? You're like, "Oh, I'm not touching another Libra."
Probably not. I probably wouldn't let it affect my relationships, just because I know being an Aries woman, not all of that is fitting for me. So, maybe not all of it is fitting for them.
You gotta figure out their moon sign.
Yeah, and their
rising.
Their rising. Then I'll make a decision. Yeah. A more informed decision. No, it seems the trend is I never even learn it. So, I probably won't take it into consideration. Or, I'll be in too deep and I'll be like, oh no, it's a Capricorn.
Oh. Yeah, it's never stopped me before, and I always figure it out, immediately, because I'm like, gotta look at our compatibility. And it doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
That's our takeaway for this episode.
Yeah, nothing matters. Thanks so much for listening. We will have a mini-sode up for you next week. If you liked this, let us know. If you didn't like this, be kind, but also let us know. Our DMs are open on Instagram and Twitter. We are at The Lonely Sluts on both of those. We also have a Gmail, thelonelysluts@gmail.com. Tell us what your sign is. We want to know. Is it true? Is it true to you?
Is it true to you?
All right, we'll talk to you again later.
Bye.